Hi, I'm senior reporter Chris Kalle,
And I'm senior reporter Steven DiNapoli.
and today we're going to be having a recap of the 2023 Westlake football season.
It was a very good one. We started off 8-0. We sadly lost in the championship, but it was the first undefeated regular season since 1962. So it was a memorable season for the Wildcats, and let's go right into game one. It was supposed to be the Wildcats' first game at home, but it got canceled and moved to September 12th. So the 9/11 Memorial was moved into the auditorium, and we did it all there. Then, on Tuesday, the day after, we went onto the field. It was a very exciting game. There was a lot of people from the whole town there. We ended up winning 11-8 in overtime with a sophomore Anthony Negrelli's game-winning kick. What else do you think about this game, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, the Wildcats were down 8-0 in the fourth quarter, and everybody started looking down on them. You know, they came back with a 80-yard drive to score the game, to tie up the game, and, went to overtime. Very exciting for a first game, and the first win on the new turf. So week 2, the Wildcats had a bye week, but September 22nd, week 3, the Wildcats faced Tappan Zee, which the Wildcats won in dominant fashion on the first Friday night game on the new field. Anything to say about the game?
We won 46-14. We won pretty handedly, and it was just a great performance from the Wildcats. On to next week. Week 4 was a very anticipated game for the Wildcats, where the year before we went 8-3 and lost in the regional championship, but one of our losses was to Tuckahoe on week 1 that year. And we were looking forward to that game for a long time, where we came out on top 35-34 in a very close game at the end with a very good Tuckahoe Tigers team. What do you think about that game?
Oh, I mean, I think it was, as a player, one of the best games I've ever played in. It was very fun, very back and forth, and, it was a high-scoring game, and it went down to the last play where we ended up on top of the interception, and we also had 4 different guys score a touchdown in that game, so it was a very good one. So, and the week after, the Wildcats were going to face Woodlands High School, and due to weather occasions, the game ended up being forfeited by Woodlands, and the Cats found themselves being 4-0.
Just like Tuckahoe, this was a very anticipated game. Rematch was last year's Section 1 Class E championship against the Dobbs Ferry Eagles, where, we've seen them a lot, played them. That was our third time we played them in the past 2 years, and it's always a hard game with them, very familiar opponent. And we came out on top, 8-0 at Westlake, and that was a good one for our confidence to move forward into the end stretch of the season. What do you think about the Dobbs Ferry Eagles game?
I mean, if you like old school football, that was the game for you. I mean, 8-0, it was a defensive showdown game, very very fast game as both teams like to run the ball a lot, and the Wildcats defense really showed out that game, only allowing 70 yards, and it was a great game of the section final rematch, and on the next week. And on homecoming, 5-1 team of Haldane Blue Devils came down to the Westlake, who we were 5-0 at the time, and a really big game for homecoming. And it's not usually like that. And the Wildcats started off strong as they drove right down the field the first drive, and a big touchdown by Chris Archiello, and then found themselves 14-7 at halftime. And what do you guys say about that?
So we were down 14-7 at halftime on our own homecoming. It wasn't a normal sight for the Wildcats usually on homecoming, but we came out very strong in the second half, put in 2 scoring drives, and ended up winning 16-14 on a fantastic night with fireworks. It was a beautiful night, good weather, hundreds of people there, and yeah, it was just a great atmosphere on the Spirit Week and Homecoming Week. It was great. Here we are now at the last regular season game of the season, and we are away on the road at Bronxville. This was a good start for the Wildcats. We came out right away and went up 21-0 in the first half. It was good for us to come out firing the first half, and we went to the second half. We got the backups in there. It was good. They scored once, but we came out good, healthy, and that was a good game for us away. What do you think about that game?
Yeah, I mean, the Wildcats ended up winning that game 21-8, I believe, and ended the regular season 7-0, clinched the first seed in the playoffs, and again, that was the first undefeated regular season since 1962. So it's a great accomplishment that the Wildcats had. And on to the next round, the first round of the playoffs against crosstown rival Valhalla. And again, a lot of anticipation going into this game, as the first time they played, it was a great game. The Cats only won 11-8, and now they're playing each other for the right to go to the section championship. And it was a pretty good game. The Cats won 21-8, went up 14-0 to start the game. And what do you guys say about that?
I think it was a great game. It was at Westlake too, so it's always nice to have a home playoff game. We beat cross-town rival, and it was sent us on to the section final. So it was just they were a team in the way, and we had to get past that game. Now the Wildcats find themselves in the section championship again for the second time in the past 2 years, and it came right down to the wire. It was 13-7. We ended up losing, sadly, but we were in there the whole time, and it came down to the last play, and it was just a very hard-fought game. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, even though the Wildcats lost, some of the goals they had were not, fulfilled in what way. But, it doesn't take away from the accomplishments they had throughout the year, the memories they made, and the good times they had. And, that's what truly matters when you're playing high school football, is about the memories you made. And overall, I thought it was a great year for the Wildcats. 8-1 is still a remarkable record, and not a lot of teams get to do that. Not a lot of teams get to say they played for a section title. And it was a great year from 2023 Wildcats, and to see what goes on in the future is exciting. And anything?
Also, throughout this run, we were also the league champions again, back-to-back, which is also something a lot of teams can't say. And we were also ranked second in the state at a point, too. So it was a good run, but we didn't come out on top, but it's all right. We made great memories, and yeah.
Coming with the end of the season also comes postseason awards. And starting off with a whole bunch of awards from the Wildcats, we had 2 all-section players with Nick Castellano and Chris Kalle. We had 2 all-conference players in Steven DiNapoli and Rafael Savino. And we had a whole bunch of all-league players in Michael Pagan, James Mealy, James Maxwell, Joey Scabelhorn, CJ Prosperino, Darren Nelson, Jack Lucido, Jake Zano, and Chris Archiello. And we also had the most outstanding D lineman in Class CD and Rafael Savino.
Back to the anchor desk.